Have you ever felt like the world keeps telling you that you are not enough? That no matter what you do, people look at you as if you are invisible? This story is for anyone who has been doubted, mocked, or underestimated. Stay with me until the end, because what starts as pain turns into an unforgettable lesson about self-worth and silent strength. Jennifer Collins was always known as the disappointment of the family. While her sister, Bethany, carried the title of the golden child, Jennifer lived in the shadows, constantly overlooked. At every gathering, Bethany's presence stole the spotlight. She was praised for her glamorous lifestyle, her expensive taste, and the image she showed to the world. Jennifer, on the other hand, lived modestly and quietly, choosing a simpler path that no one in the family seemed to value. One Thanksgiving evening, the difference between them became painfully clear. As the family gathered around the table, laughter filled the room. In the middle of it all, Bethany made a cruel joke, mocking Jennifer for being poor and worthless. The room erupted with laughter, not just from Bethany, but from uncles, cousins, even parents who should have defended her. Jennifer sat there, silent. The words cut deep, but she swallowed the pain. What no one in that room knew was that for the last 5 years, Jennifer had been working tirelessly behind the scenes. While they mocked her simplicity, she was building something extraordinary in secret. Bethany flaunted designer bags and fancy trips on social media, earning admiration from distant relatives and family friends. Jennifer, on the other hand, invested her time and energy into building her own company. She kept it quiet, never feeling the need to prove herself with flashy posts. As her family mocked her, she silently reminded herself of the empire she was carefully building brick by brick. She had contracts, loyal clients, and steady growth, but none of them had the slightest clue. For years, Jennifer endured their judgment. She learned to smile when they laughed, to remain calm when they compared her to Bethany, and to accept being the invisible one in the family. What they saw as weakness was actually her greatest strength, her ability to remain patient, disciplined, and focused on what truly mattered. The moment of truth came years later. The same family that once laughed at Jennifer was now seated around the table again, this time for a Christmas dinner. Bethany, still dressed in luxury, proudly spoke of her latest trip and the expensive gifts she had bought for herself. Everyone admired her stories until the conversation turned to Jennifer. One cousin asked casually, "So, Jennifer, what have you been doing all these years?" The room went quiet. Some smirked, expecting her to stumble through an unimpressive answer. But Jennifer remained calm. With a soft smile, she simply said, "I have been running my company. We just crossed 5 million in revenue this year." The silence that followed was heavy. Forks froze midair. Eyes widened. Bethany's laughter died on her lips. For the first time, the family realized that the one they mocked, the one they called worthless, had quietly built a life far more stable and powerful than they ever imagined. Jennifer did not gloat. She did not throw insults back at them. Instead, she carried herself with quiet grace. That was her ultimate victory, not proving them wrong with anger, but with undeniable success. In that moment, the family saw her differently. No one laughed at her anymore. No one dared to call her poor or worthless. Respect replaced mockery, and silence replaced cruelty. What Jennifer taught them and what her story teaches us is simple. You do not need to announce your every move to the world. You do not need to beg for validation or prove your worth through flashy appearances. True strength is in patience, in discipline, and in building something real away from the noise. Her story is a reminder for us all. Never let the world define your value. Work in silence, let your results speak. And when the time comes, your success will silence every doubt, every insult, and every laugh that once cut you down. Because in the end, it is not the loudest voice in the room that wins, it is the quiet one that never stops working.